Hi and welcome back to Healing Gems. Thanks for joining me. So today we are going to talk about the power of patience and actually how tuning in to patience and developing patience with chronic fatigue can actually help us heal a lot quicker. So I know it's very hard when you've got chronic fatigue to be patient. We want to be well straight away. We want to be well tomorrow. But putting those unrealistic expectations on ourselves to heal tomorrow, next week, next month, causes a lot of stress in the body. It causes a lot of tension. It causes this kind of fighting kind of spirit within us to really achieve what we want. But going about it that way actually can make us worse, because we're pushing, we're fighting. Our nervous system then goes into fight or flight because it's trying to achieve something. It's trying to push against something that's actually happening, and that can then backfire, cause symptoms to get worse, or just hold us in this position where we're not making any progress. So, society as a whole, it's not our fault that we think like that, because society tells us, to achieve what you want, to, reach your goals, you've got to push, you've got to work hard, you've got to strive, you've got to, really put in all of this effort in order to get what you want. But with chronic fatigue, actually, it's that less is more saying is absolutely true, because the more we push, the more we want, the more we strive, and when we don't get those results, the more stress we get, and therefore the circle and the cycle continues. If you have ever watched Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and the character Veronica Salt, who is this spoiled little girl who wants everything now, if you go and watch that, she actually meets her bitter end by wanting things right now and immediately, and having this attitude towards life that, everything's got to be given to me right now. So if you haven't watched that, then go and find the clip on it. You'll see, she meets her bitter end with some squirrels. But that aside, it is something that we need to cultivate, this patience, this accepting when we have chronic fatigue. And actually, because this then starts to lower maybe our expectations, lower our stress levels, accepting where we are right now in this given moment, we're actually able to make further strides in our progress and our recovery a lot quicker. Now, you might be thinking, I don't want to accept this. Why should I accept chronic fatigue? And I get it. Like, no one wants to be ill. No one wants to accept these horrendous symptoms and sensations that we can get with chronic fatigue. But cultivating this level of patience does not mean accepting and giving up. It doesn't mean you're not going to do anything to progress and make yourself feel better, because actually sometimes doing nothing, or doing little, or striving only a little bit, that is the doing. That is what you need to do in order to get well from chronic fatigue. Obviously, there are so many programs out there these days which talk about, brain training, meditation, and they're all really good. And used correctly, they are going to make you progress. But I made the mistake, and I know many others probably have done this as well. You think, right, okay, if I do every single brain training exercise that's out there, and I do it religiously and consistently, 100% all the time, every day, and I've got to meditate as well, and I've got to have the right diet, and I've got to juice 5 times a day, and you can see already like this level of stress and pressure you're putting on yourself. I mean, people who without chronic fatigue don't do that, so putting this regime or this routine together, and not being flexible with it, not allowing yourself just to have fun or just to enjoy life as much as you can in the state that you're in, then this can actually be very, very detrimental to our healing. So when things start to change, and when I started noticing changes was when I gave up a little bit, or not give up, when I stopped pushing so hard, when I stopped trying to do every single brain training, catch every single thought. Things started to change when I started to just accept, okay, I'm quite limited right now, but what can I do? You know, okay, I've got to rest way more than the average person, but you know, I can do some things, even if that's like enjoying watching a bit of television. Maybe it is, you know, I bought some fish and started sort of getting into that as a hobby. You know, you might be able to do an hour's worth of work. You know, it's accepting what you can do and enjoying those things as well. Because actually, without you even realizing, by doing little things that you enjoy or that you have to do, i.e. work, you are starting to reprogram your brain. Because obviously you have all these brain retrainings where you visualize and you know, do all these stopping techniques and things like that, which are good. But I found the biggest brain training that helped me was like making plans to meet a friend for an hour, maybe, if you're at that stage, you know, instead of 3 hours. You know, I'd be like, okay, I can stay for an hour, I'm gonna have the cup of tea with my friend, I'm gonna come home, I'm gonna rest. And then gradually you can start to build that up. And that was the brain training really that really started to help me get out of feeling so fatigued, feeling all these symptoms. Because sometimes when you're obsessing about them and you're thinking about them all the time, you're actually reinforcing to your brain that there is a problem, you know, something is wrong, and therefore it's going to keep giving you these things because you're concentrating on them so much and you're focusing on them so much. So really you want to just try and take your focus away from the symptoms in as an enjoyable way as you can. So let's go back to the patience. So cultivating this level of patience with chronic fatigue is absolutely necessary, I would say, and it can be very difficult because, you know, we don't live in a world where we have to wait for things anymore. You know, we can get Amazon delivery tomorrow, or even the same day. You know, we aren't in a society, in a world anymore where patience is kind of accepted. It's not. We expect instant results for everything. We don't think, you know, we're told that, you know, if you take this miracle drug you'll be well, or you put on this face cream and all your wrinkles will be gone. You know, we just think, okay, do this and instantly you're going to get that. And unfortunately it's not really the case with anything in life. If you take dieting, for example, if you're trying to lose weight, you don't do that overnight. It takes time and it's a process. And actually a lot of diets now focus on the psychological side, you know, as well as the food. So chronic fatigue, it's really not that much different in terms of we are reteaching our brain that we are safe, and we have to do that in a patient and consistent and accepting manner. And there will be times where you can't accept, you know, I've had so many times where, you know, why is this happening to me? You know, just so emotional, not being able to cope with the amount of symptoms or the intensity of the symptoms that I'm feeling. And you know, it does test your patience, absolutely. So don't feel like you can't go off and have a cry or scream or whatever it is that you do, that you need to release that emotion. You need to get it out. But then once it's out, you can come back to cultivating this patience and acceptance and belief that it is possible. And yes, it is going to take time, but I think once you get that into your mind, that, you know, it's not going to be an overnight cure. It could be 6 months, it could be a year, it could be longer. But remember, how you are at the beginning, like, is not going to be the same even halfway through or towards the end of your recovery. You're going to be feeling so much better. You know, just that next level up can make you feel positive and be able to do more in life, and be more accepting with yourself. So how to cultivate patience, you might ask? Well, breathing is a great one. You know, if you start to feel like you're getting het up and you're getting stressed, and sit down, calm, breathe. EFT, I'll create a video on patience, but there are many out there on the on YouTube that you can find about patience in a whole, you know, not directly related to chronic fatigue. So there are many ways, and you can find your own path and way of doing these things as well. So I hope this helped, and you know, really try to, you know, if you're starting to lose your patience, just think of Veronica Salt. Think of her bitter ending that she came to. It wasn't helpful to her to be like that. We need to be more like Charlie from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, having that patience, having that acceptance, and that realization of, like, you know, this is my life at the moment, and okay, it's not what I planned, it's not what I want, but it is how it is right now. There is a road out, and you're on it because you're watching videos like this. Otherwise, you know, you wouldn't be bothering. So know that you have got this, and just, again, hands on heart, breathe in and out, and just breathe in that patience and that acceptance, and know that you can do this. Okay, bye for now.